Firstly, hello everyone. I hope everybody's still staying sane and what's going on at the moment, and sometime we'll get back to rugby at some point soon, hopefully. Firstly, me, introduce myself. I'm Stuart Cameron, or Cammy. Been around the club since 1984, I think was my first time I played at under 16 level. Brian Dewar asked me to pop along when I was still playing at school, and basically been there ever since. A couple of years on and off through injury and work commitments, etc. Played most of my rugby lower level, second 15 level, but I was honoured to get picked to go on the tour to Siberia in 1990, which was, for all of us that was there, was an experience that we'll never forget. Through the rugby, through the Kirkcaldy Rugby Club, made lifelong friends, as everybody has during rugby. So yeah, so that's basically me. Started anyway, playing career. I played at Kirkcaldy all my life, or all my rugby career. Ended up being youth convener for a good few years, and then ended up helping coach the second 15 and also the ladies a couple of times as well. Therefore I've been given this honour and privilege to try and pick a squad, sort of club squad if you want to call it that. I'm hybrid between ladies players and maybe second 15 players that never played, that had played first 15 rugby as well, but mostly second 15. So I won't be picking for players that played when I was there, and not the recent ones, although most of the first 15 came through second 15 at some point in their careers. Picking a second 15 is never easy. We normally tend to use between 50, 60, sometimes more players per year. So picking, and that's including obviously first 15 guys that are coming back for injury and having to play, but the rules of the league for second 15 is different. You can't play a guy for the first 15 in a week, the week after. If the first 15 doesn't have a game, then they can't play for a second 15 if they started for the first. So it can be kind of complicated, but hopefully this will get us through a wee bit. So as I say, I've gone for good club players in my regard. So first 15, as you'll notice, it's mixed ladies and gents. So loosehead prop number 1, straight off, BB, Karen Small, ladies player. Excellent scrummager, excellent in the park. Every ladies team that's ever played against Kirkcaldy know who she is, see her in the team, see her in the first scrum, and basically, aye, very frightened when they see her coming along. So BB's straight in it, number 1. Hooker, I did have a bit to think about. It was quite difficult for me for the team. I've went for Simi. Mark Simpson. Went for Simi just ahead of Kenny and Trash, because Simi was slightly better around the park than Kenny, although Kenny's line at thrown was probably slightly better than Simi's. An obvious other one would have been Andy Marshall, but then he played mostly for the first 15 and helped us out in the twos nearer the end of his playing career, etc. So again, I went for Simi at hooker. Tight head prop, there was a few, but my number 1 choice would be Gav Denham. Closely mixed in there, I had Big Ted McMinn. I thought he was a great player, great scrummager, good hands, good guy all round, and then obviously Gooch was another one that's played a lot. But I went for Gav Denham, strong scrummager, again, great around the park, really good hands, ex-footballer, so he could dribble a wee bit as well. but I've went for Gav Denham as my tight head. Lock. Right, it maybe surprised a few people this one, but it was a great stalwart for the second 15, had been for years, probably still is. I've gone for Liam Murphy. Superb in the line out. He won us turnover ball in the last minutes of the game, secured ball. I think the lifters loved him because he wasn't the heaviest second row that we've ever had. Easy to lift, but he had good hands at the top of the line out and certainly secured a lot of ball for us and turned over a lot of ball. Another one, his partner would be Gary Ritchie. Another great second 15 player, captain as well. Did a lot of the hard work and a lot of the dirty work that people never seen, like sacking the line outs, clearing rucks. Didn't do the fancy stuff, never did. Wasn't the greatest round the park, but when he did get there, he did make of it, and good leader as well. Two other notables that I could put in here is Cassie McMahon for the ladies, really hard working girl, good tackler, hard hitter. I've seen her put her handoffs unbelievable. One pair wee girl for Aberdeen ended up doing a somersault, literally doing a somersault with one of Cassie's handoffs. And Stuart Oliver I've put in there as well. He played a lot of times for the second 15 and really helped us out greatly. Great club man, and he's still around at the moment. 6 was my easy one. That was the first one written down. Good old gang, Mark Graham. Never let us down. Played with his heart and his sleeve every single game. Superb guy. I loved him playing at 6. I thought that was his best position. He might not agree, he might have thought it was 7, but I think 6 is his best position. Alongside 7 was a guy that he was only around us for a year or two, or maybe even, I think it was a season and a half we had him. Came from St Andrews University, came down to play for us. Rob Cutler was his name. He was a history student, and he was only played a couple of times, well, say a season and a half, but what a player he was. I'm sure he was ex-England schools before he came down to us. Played for a couple of seasons, and then unfortunately had to move back down, but it was highly thought of. So the other back rows that could have went in there would be Massey for the ladies. I still think 6 was her best position. Alison Massey, captain of the ladies for a good few years, and also Davy Frew I think would be a good 7. I liked him playing at 7, although he could fill in at scrum half as well for me. I liked him in there as well. But Davy Frew would be my second choice, but Rob Cutler, Rob Cutler is my 2 flankers. Number 8, I had a few choices here, but I went for a professor, Emma Buckley. Ladies player. Superb player, really clever, and she's got the academic qualifications to prove it actually. Being a professor at St Andrews University. Really good. When she plays for the ladies, the whole team gets a lift. A real lift when she's on the park and running about. Big hits, big tackler, hard to stop when she's got the ball. As I say, really clever. So I think she would fit in there. Obviously the other one that would fit in there would be Stuart Porter, who could play 8, 6, 7, lock. Doesn't matter where you put Stuart. Once he explained to them how to pick up the number 8 and actually run it a 10 instead of trying to run back in to the side of the scrum, he was actually quite good. Eventually got there in the end. Paul Walker would be another one, hard to stop when he did get going, but Emma Buckley wins that race for me. So that's number 8. Number 9 I thought was pretty easy for me, although that's the position I played all my years, so it was quite easy for me. I went for wee Richie Castlesmith. I need a 9. We all need 9s who's got a bit of a mouth, and we all know Richie has definitely got one of them. But he's a good organiser as well, controlling his forwards, telling them what he wants to do, making wee snipes. His pass was okay, his kicking wasn't the best, although he thought it might have been, but we didn't really want him to kick anyway, rather than run the ball, as I say. So Richie Castlesmith goes in at 9, with great support there for Chris McConnell at times, and Davy Frew at times. Ging, as I said, he's ended up playing 9 for me at some point, because with being second 15, so you didn't always get the players. You never get the same team 2 weeks in a row, you never get the same players 2 weeks in a row. So I went for Richie at 9. 10, again, very easy one, Robbie Gilmer. All grumpy himself, always moaned, but always did the job. We can all remember the kicks that he put over, or the kick that he put over in the last minute when we beat Foresters to win that playoff, when Foresters played the first 15 against us, which they shouldn't have been allowed to do. Postponed it 3 times before we got through that playoff. Got through that and moved back up to a decent league, and then won that the league the year after that, and then moved up to play in the first reserve league, Scottish Rugby, against the likes of your Heriots and Burtmuir and Noddy guys. So that was picked him. Obviously the one for the ladies for me would be Sandra Laird. Good organiser as well, not as fast as she used to be, but still got a decent pass on her. It's nice to still work on her kicking if she's playing next year as well. Work on that a wee bit, but then go for there. Winger. Right, winger I went for lady here, Nikki Redpath. Superb runner, really quick, really fast. I don't think she'll like me for playing her on the wing, but I still think wing or fullback were our best positions for me. But I would play her on the wing, just mainly because of her pace, and with the people that have got inside her in this team, she would get space and she would beat almost every other ladies player that I've seen in that league, majority of them. Nikki, great player. Notable people in there again, Ryan Venters. Always liked Ryan playing. Great player, great winger. He was really good for the twos. We had him for almost the whole season when somehow he couldn't get into the first, where he played most of his career. But played for us, helped us out a lot, and was great for us. And the other one would be another lady, Kaylee Lane. Liked her as a winger. Different style for Nikki. Maybe not as quick, but a wee bit more powerful, and just played with her heart on her sleeve every time. 12 was pretty easy. Greg Douglas, that's Big Muzzy's, Andy Douglas's brother. Did Douglas played for us for a good few years at 12. I think he was a 10 in his early playing career, but we had Robbie at 10, so Greg Douglas played at 12. Good ball carrier, would go into contact, good tackler, put his head in the wrong places quite a few times, ended up with big broken eyes and all the rest of it, faces. So he would be in it, a 12. We lost him to Foresters when he moved over to Edinburgh, but he was still a great player for us in this squad. Notable inside centre again would be one of the ladies, Ailey McCall. Great wee player, Bambi as she was known, great wee player, same style as Greg, take the ball up but can also move it wide if she needed to, but really good, hard, fast player. 13 was easy, best ladies player I've ever seen, coached, been around, Brenda Brogan. Brenda is just simply a great player. Turnover, she could probably play 7 quite easily. Turnovers, she won lots of turnovers. She actually gets penalised quite a lot in the ladies' game because they didn't actually realise or didn't think that a lady can do what she does, as in winning the ball at breakdown situations, as easily as that, as easy as she does. And so they reckon she's had to have done something wrong, so she ends up getting penalised lots of times for something that she shouldn't have. Notable in there again would be somebody that played a lot of, mostly first 15, but it did come down, help the seconds when I was around there, and that would be Breenge, Alec Rayside. He'd be in there pretty close as well. On my other wing would be, maybe surprise a few people, played for us and then went back to Wendyball, played that as well. But I went for Goof, Andrew Goof Davis. Big, tall, rangy, powerful runner. Unfortunately, he did get injured quite a few times with hamstrings, basically because he was used to his football career with moving around most of the time and playing in the centre half and the back of the thing. So he was moving all the time. The wingers, sometimes he not moving as much as he should have. Kind of not knowing the game as well, coming into the line looking for work, so he was getting the ball and then basically having to sprint, so it didn't do his hamstrings any good. But when he did play, he was excellent. It was great to see him on the wing. Everybody knew his pace that he had, so we gave him the ball and he would make yards. His tackle technique was horrendous. Basically be red cards every day nowadays. But there was one notable occasion I remember, in we were playing Ayr in a league game, through at Ayr, and we were just outside the 22. As usual, Robbie, I was screaming at them, don't kick, don't kick, don't kick, but then Robbie Gilmer kicked it, Goof caught it, soaring high in the sky, caught it like a goalkeeper and ran in to score. Then again, Hans probably would have done the same thing, but no matter, scored anyway. Another one that could have went there, we only had him for a year, but I thought he was a great winger, was a boy people won't remember possibly, but Adam Rainey his name was. Another English guy that came up, played for us only for a year, but he scored some great tries. Should have been playing for the ones at the time, but I can't remember who was keeping him out. It might have actually been Venters and Jordan at the time, but great player. As I said, should have been, if he stayed with us he would have played first 15. Same with Goof, if he hadn't got injured and Kane stayed at rugby instead of football, he could have been first 15 quite a lot. 15 was another easy one for me. Gran, old Linda Morrison, another lady, superb trainer, superb player. I've never seen a harder tackler in all my days for the size of the lady. She's probably the weirdest lady on the pitch, and certainly the oldest lady on the pitch, still playing yet. The age of, I think she's into her 50s, shall we say, and she's still playing to a good level. Really noisy on the pitch, which you need for a full-back. Really quite knowledgeable as well. She watches a lot of rugby, which some of the ladies tend not to do. She watches a lot, quite knowledgeable. Moany, she'll moan at anything, but it's always because her heart is just want to win. And that's it, she's a born winner. So that was it. I've not even got another one to go in at 15. Gran was first there and she's staying there. So as I say, we've had notable people play for the second 15 down the line to help us out, certainly recently, as well as when I was there as well. Big Chick, everybody kens Chick. We did actually have Murray Douglas playing for us for a couple of games as well. Moomin, Mark Thompson, he's played for us quite a lot recently. Colin Harvey, walking him. See, Ryan Venters, as I've mentioned, had almost a season with us, but didn't pick him because he was mostly first 15. Jamie Watson, again mostly first 15. Stuart Oliver, again mostly first 15, hence the reason there's no in. And also Chris McConnell could have swapped in there as well. But that's been my selection of sort of hybrid squad that I was asked to try and put together. So that'd be it. So again, running through front row, BB, Simmy and Gav Denham, locks, Liam Murphy and Gary Ritchie, back row, Ging, Rob Cutler and Emma Buckley, half backs, Ritchie, Castle Smith and Robbie Gilmer, two centres, Greg Douglas and Brenda Bogan, two wingers, Nicky Redpath and Andrew Davis, with Gran, Linda Morrison at full back. So thanks very much. I say I've been honoured to be asked to do this. Hopefully we'll see you down at the club soon enough, and we'll get back to some normality if it ever happens again. Okay, cheers guys, stay safe.